Alright, greetings and salutations, everyone. Greetings. It is the evening stream. We'll be recording some more training videos. We got a couple of pretty exciting quests on the docket here. A bunch of stuff. But we also have Ben in the voice chat, it looks like. Welcome.
Hello.
And I told Ben the rules basically before we jumped in here of we try to get all the crazy talk out of the way before I start recording. So Ben, do you have any crazy talk? I know you're watching your kid. Is she smoking cigarettes yet?
No, she's gonna pave the driveway first. She's not allowed.
Oh my goodness.
Ear piercings, but no belly button yet. So there's that.
Okay. Well, I mean it's a step in the right direction. Heroin. I mean, she's like, what, coming up on a year? She should be shooting up in her toenails by now, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like not cool. I'd like you to stop that.
No, not quite that bad. I'm telling you, man, kids grow up super quick. And you blink and they'll be done. You got to pay attention real hardcore. And they're all evil. You got to watch them like a hawk to make sure that they don't. Going through some shenanigans with Remington right now. He's switching majors in school, and his ex-girlfriend wants to get back together, and I'm just like watching this train wreck, and I'm just like, please do not put all these things together. You will literally explode. But you can't stop them from making these decisions. Anyway, I think we're going to start off tonight's stream by recording the pit video. I actually have quite a few videos stored up here that I need to get uploaded to YouTube. I thought I'd take some time to do them this afternoon after my nap, but I never really got a restful sleep, so I didn't get them posted. It looks like I have... It looks like I have about 10 of them. So we'll try to record like, I don't know, a handful more, and I'll try to get as many of them posted tomorrow as possible. Remember, for those of you who are interested, or whatever the word is you'd like to think of, tomorrow there'll be no stream, unfortunately. I have to take Linda in to get a colonoscopy. And it's starting to sound like I have to go wait with her for some reason. I don't know. Things are weird. But apparently I am her taxi both ways. And at first I was told I'd just be able to drop her off. But now it's starting to sound like I have to sit around and wait. And I'm just like, ah. We'll see what happens. So maybe if I have some time tomorrow, I'll be able to get things posted, even though I'll be away from the computer. Maybe I can like do some work from my laptop or something. All right. Any final thoughts before we get started, Ben?
Yeah, no.
All right. Let us make sweet, sweet relations with this chicken. Greetings and salutations, everyone. It is everybody's favorite quest, the pit. I like to go through the pit, and I like to kind of show people how I do it. In fact, I would almost say every single time I do the pit, I make it one of these like little training videos. But this time it's going to be separated, and I'd like to kind of have that separated out on its own so it's easy to find. A lot of people are afraid of the pit, or they just don't like it because it's complicated and overly so. I will agree. But a little bit of understanding and a little bit of get it doneness, and you'll actually find that the pit is not that bad of a quest at all. First thing you do when you get when you actually get the quest, you get this handy little pit restart guide. It's actually kind of cool to look at the first time. Kind of tells you the order of how to do things and all this interesting stuff, but honestly, just throw it in the trash. It's not what we're here for. I'm your pit restart guide. It's me, the pit restart guide. All right. So we're going to summon up our hireling here. The pit, sometimes, like I said, it can be a real challenge for a lot of people. I personally have found, after many years of running the pit, there is one real secret to running the pit. And I will show you what that is specifically when we get to it. But it's all about never leaving the one ramp until you have to. And what that means is that you got all these ramps that run all up and down the quest, and if you start leaving the path to do different things, you had better know where you're going, or you're just going to get yourself lost. That being said, Dimensional Door is also a real friend, and I will I'll try to show you all the tricks and tips as I go along. First of all, this room is actually not the worst, although again, you might notice a little bit of a theme. It killed me in the hardcore server. I got ambushed by a Reaper, and I stood there thinking that Tobrel would be able to kill it easier if I stood still. And he did eventually get to kill it, but it was after I was dead. So it was pretty cray-cray. Apparently I was blocked by one of these levers. Alright, what we're doing here, though, let's talk about that. This is one of these turn on all the lights puzzles. You can see back here on this back wall, when I can look at it again, that there's all these different runes in the off position. We're going to turn them on. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to light the four corners. And when you flip a lever, that corresponds. You see, I did this like equivalent of a K. It turned on it, the one above it, and the one to the side of it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to light the four corners, and then we're going to pull the one in the middle. I kind of think that we might also get joined at some point by Beef this evening. I'm not 100% sure. We are a little bit ahead of him level-wise, and he may feel like he should stay back a little bit and take his level, but we'll see what happens. So, you might notice here that when you turn a lever that is already touching a light that's on, it turns itself off. So by hitting each of the four levers, we turned all the four corners on and all the ones in the middle off. So then when we pull this guy here in the middle, it'll light just the remaining runes. And there we go. The pit is one of the few quests in the game that I do try to make sure I hit my breakables. It's a lot of experience at the level. When you kind of get the hang of the quest, it is very quick. When you pick up a couple of the tricks that's going to be going down here, you'll also feel like it's very quick. Hopefully, that's the goal. And yeah, I am a big fan of the pit, and I hope at the end you will be too. Oh! Alright, that was not intended. We're going to go back up to the beginning. Stupid gravity. It's one of the great perks of having some D-door action here. Alright, if you notice up here, this does a really good job of like lighting the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of move back up here just a little bit, so you can kind of see what I was trying to do. I don't usually carry on Featherfall. If you happen to be a Featherfall person, this first couple of jumps are actually really nice and really easy. If you're like me and you don't carry around Featherfall a whole bunch, you got to be a little bit more careful, because you're going to be making crazy jumps here. So what we want to do, first of all, take a look at this map. This is the weird map. A lot of people don't like it because they don't understand it. Okay, so what this is a two-dimensional map of a three-dimensional structure. And once you kind of learn the symbols a little bit on the map, it makes things a little bit easier. So this weird shape and this weird shape, you'll notice that they're duplicated. What that means is that is these two big pillars right here. Alright? And then when you look over, there's three furnaces, and you'll notice, like, to me it looks like a fire portal kind of thing, or like a a T-valve, per se. And then you have 3 different things of fire. So that's how you can tell the 3 furnaces. Then you have an electric room. Then you have the bilge control area, which has a bunch of spikes in it. Apparently there used to be a little bit more to this quest that had a bunch of spikes in it. You have what I like to call the Energon Cube up here. And then you have what, if you kind of look at these pillars, they have these little crystals on them and force waves come out of them. That's right here. This is the... It's not a control center, but it's security center, I think. Because it's the trap setting off the sound waves, right? So yeah, that's like the main parts of the quest. We'll kind of talk about things as we need it. I don't remember what this is. I don't remember what this is. But, oh, this is that puzzle. That 9x9 puzzle at the very top of the quest. And, yeah, I don't know what this is. Some sort of setting sun in the water. We'll figure it out later together. But the point is when you look at the map, you can tell which side of the map you're on. So, like, when we look over here, we see that there are the 3 furnaces, which means that if I'm along this way, I should be able to look either up or down and see the room that is for the 3 furnaces. Looks like it is further down. And with that being the case, we can just, like, jump and fall down. Make sure that you don't bounce, apparently. That is my issue today, is we're bouncing. Whee! And I just went right past it because I bounced right off the edge. Maybe I want to do this with a featherfall after all. Gross. So anyway, after you detour back, because you fell down for no good reason, you can take that knowledge and you can go, okay, well, I have to go over here to this pillar and it's down, and you can jump down to it. Here we go. So we ended up at the furnaces. The furnaces, all the rooms have the different lighting system on them. If it's like this orangey color, that means that you're ready to do it. If it's got a different color, let's just go to a different room here while we have a minute. You'll see a force field and it'll be red. Now the reason why the furnace is special is because there's 3 rooms in one hallway, right? So 1 room is ready to go and 2 rooms are not. Just kind of use that as a little bit of a guide for what you want to do. Alright, so we're going to hit this first furnace room. Man, did I grab my... Now I feel like I should check to see if I actually grabbed my featherfall item. I've been complaining about it because I had a pair of boots that it was always on. And I hate always on featherfall, but I like to carry around a trinket that I can kind of switch on, switch off. I don't think I grabbed it because I thought... I was under the impression I was going to continue to wear those boots until next level. And then I changed my mind. Like a terrible monster. So anyway, it is okay to have a featherfall item in this quest. In fact, I would recommend it for large swaths of the quest, but for me personally, generally I don't worry about it too much. I'll probably switch to the featherfall spell at some point. Now, in each room of the furnace, there's this little blue lever. Just for now, just pull those on faith. It'll open up an optional that we'll do at the end of the quest. If you have featherfall, or not featherfall, if you have detour, you can do it after you finish the 3rd furnace room, because you can detour back up. Otherwise, it takes a really long time. It's at the very, very bottom of the quest. Every time I fell down there, this run through, I've detoured back to the beginning because it's such a long run. Just realized that it's a long, long time. Alright, over there is a valve that turns off these acid jets. I don't worry about them. I just run through. I feel like if you're running through them, you don't have to worry about them all that much. And you should be pretty good to go. If you pulled the blue lever, you will get at least 1 guy to spawn. And then you might get some more to spawn after a minute as well. Wait for this air jet to go by if you don't have featherfall. And then you just jump to this pillar. Or valve, or pipe. That's what they're called, pipes. We're in Mario Land now. Run over, jump over, and the guy will spawn. We, of course, are in a terrible position to fight a guy because we have the low ground. If Obi-Wan taught us anything, it's that we have the high ground we can't lose. So we want to make sure that we always have the high ground if possible. Like, as you notice, no feather fall. It's not needed for any of this running around or jumping. It's just there to give you a little extra slop when you're when you make a mistake or bounce, or Didio decides that it's gonna have one of those little laggedy bump moments. The path around is pretty simple. You'll notice that I do a lot of mouse look mode for my fine-tuned steering. You can do a lot with WAS. I think it's a good idea. But I'm a realist. I feel like you should definitely take the minute and fine-tune this skill as well. Now, the pillar we want, or the lever we want to turn on the force field to lock these fire elementals in place are behind this pillar. Okay? If you have a really high jump score and featherfall, you can easily jump up there. I would not recommend it if you don't have featherfall, or the ability to temporarily featherfall at least. Just go ahead and run over here, jump around, and come in from this direction. Wait for the fire elemental to see you. Maybe it's going to look the other way. But if it sees you and throws a fireball at you when you're back here, then it'll take enough time that you can run over and turn this on. Now that it's trapped in the force field, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It is safely locked away. We're going to jump down to this pipe again. Again, this is where we were a moment ago. Right there. We're going to go back to this intersection. We're going to go take this pipe here. Off to La La Land here. Alright. Now, I'm going to switch root arms for a moment, and I'm going to light this up to the best of my ability. But you'll notice that there's a little pillar right here, right? Now, you're going to be tempted to jump to that pillar. That pillar is a trap. Do not jump onto that. Just jump over to the far ledge there, and just make sure you have your featherfall on, or your haste, your big jump, all that stuff. Don't try to land on that little pillar. You'll just regret it. If you just jump over, you'll either make it, or you'll catch that edge and pull yourself up. Not a big deal. Be warned of this jump right here. And then, this is another trap that gets people all too often. Just mouse look at this ladder, run straight towards it, you'll walk right onto it and start going up. Don't try to jump on it, don't try to do anything fancy. Just mouse look onto it, walk and approach it, and you'll hit it every time. Alright, we're going to go ahead and turn this valve. Pick up our collectible, and then we will blow up these breakables and kill this Joes. Alright, and now we're going to fall down. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shrine. I'm going to shrine specifically because I screwed up, and I do actually would like to have occasional access to Featherfall. But again, if you already have Featherfall, there's no reason to do that here at this stage of the game. Switch our spells because we're a wizard. That is what we do. What do we want to take out? I think we're going to take out Merfolk's Blessing, and we're going to take Featherfall. Seems reasonable in this situation. Boop. Alright, now we have Featherfall. I'm not going to extend it. I'm not going to do anything quicken it or anything like that. If I had Quicken, I probably would consider it. But I don't actually at this level have Quicken, so... not a big deal. Alright, now we're going to arm the pit's security traps. I'm going to show you how to walk up there, and then I'm also going to D-door and show you where to go if you were to D-door, because now is one of the really excellent times to D-door to cut a lot of time off of your running. But since we're going to run, I'm going to tell you that this ramp right here when you walk out of the pit, either going up and down it will pretty much take you to every single position on the map that you want to go. Okay, you go down, you go to what I like to call the Energon Cube. It's actually, I don't remember what it's called right off the top of my head. But if you go up this ramp, it will take you past pretty much everything of importance. So here's the bilge control room. Just stay on this ramp. Don't cross over. Never cross over. Just keep going up. If you go to the very top and you have to jump down to something, that's preferable than trying to cross over and getting yourself lost. Just don't do it. Just stay on this ramp. Here is the main breaker room. That's what I like to call the electric room right here. And we'll keep running. Running. Here's that acid pit. If we keep going around this direction, there'll be nothing. So when we hit these little acid pipes, we want to go ahead and walk over here. So this leads to the first room. So now we're going to just look down. Hey, here's a green lit room. The security center. All right, we're at where we needed to go. So now let's de-door and see where that is from the beginning of the quest for those of you who have access to de-door. And if you're just doing this for favor, again, you can get Michael the Pious. He's really good at this kind of stuff. I pretty much always start everything by just going to the up and to the right. And look, it's right there. Bam. See? Simple. Easy peasy. Again, having access to Dimensional Door makes this quest very much quicker. Quickly. Gives you the quickness. But it's not necessary at all to do this quest. Stop with the Trog stench. You're gonna get me. Alright, I like to kind of check right over here just a little bit. There likes to be a hidden spawn. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Alright. There are two strategies to do this room. I will go ahead and show you the one that is the most popular, and then I'll discuss what I tend to do. The most popular is to start at the bottom and clean everything out and work your way up. Okay? It makes things a little bit easier, but then I also feel like it doesn't give you certain clues as to what the wheels are in the best manner. But we'll talk about that in just another second here. So we're just kind of cleaning things out. We're looking around. We're getting all these eggs. Eggs is one of the optionals. Here's a good example. Here is a clue. This is a symbol that I like to call candy cane, and it's purple. If you like write that down or make a mental note, every time you see one of these, you'll actually be able to get the answer to this clue or these puzzles on their own. So here's another one. So this is like an orangey color, and it's H. Alright, whatever words are you have for it, that's the way to go. So this is yellow, not H, not candy cane. I happen to know what all the rest of them are, so I'm gonna just like skip to the end of the deduction here. This is the one that I like to call I, or a lot of people call it double cross. I've heard it called bow. I've heard it called mini shot. I've heard it called lots of different things. Whatever you want to call it, feel free to call it that. I think of it as I. Oh, also there's a treasure chest under here under the water. Get the treasure chest. Treasure's good. Alright, so now once the bottom is cleaned out, climb back up this ladder and you start working your way around. In this case, we're going to do purple, which we did see down at the bottom was candy cane. Bam, done. We're going to work our way up and around all this wonderful goodness, defeating the various warlocks and oozes that are in our way. Heck no, we won't go. Get out of our way, little puddings. Keep an eye out on Reaper mode for when you're killing puddings, that you don't end up spawning Reapers. And I am making all sorts of pudding over here. Alright, good to go. Blue is always hat. I don't know why.
Take off.
Have a good one, buddy. It's just always a hat. I don't know. The developers just like blue being a hat, I guess. I'm sure there's a quest out there where you can find the example where blue is in fact not a hat. But I would call shenanigans. Call shenanigans for days. Alright. All sorts of shenanigans are on their way to attack. We love it. Makes us feel warm and fuzzy inside. All these casters doing all sorts of mean aggro things. We have 2 wheels here. We saw the orange one downstairs, so we know it's H. I happen to know that green is what I like to call the Pac-Man ghost. Again, all of these answers are hidden somewhere in this room. Sometimes you gotta look up, sometimes you gotta look weird directions, but if you look around in various places, you will find the key codes to this room, or you can just look it up on the wiki. Or you can just remember what I said. Either way, however you want to do it. And then red is what I like to call a gun.
As the wheel slides into place.
Look at there. As the wheel slides in place, a loud pop comes from the center of the room. Look at that. I'm going to walk over here and pull this lever that was cleverly hidden behind this force field. Now, everyone's going to go, Samus, what is it that you like to do that's so much different? I tend to not do the bottom until the end. So what I will do is I'll end up doing purple, blue, yellow, green, red, and then I'll put my hireling right here. When my hireling is right here, I'll jump down, I'll solve this bottom thing, I'll have my hireling pull this lever, and I'll clear out the whole bottom, and I'll get going. I just find it personally to be a little bit faster, a little bit less double tracking around the quest. Do it however you like, but one way or another, everything is basically the same. Now, the security is turned on, alright? Which means that these little force things are going to be going off at semi-random intervals. Alright, we're going to the second furnace, which is back down to the first furnace. We're going to go down a level. We're going to run around. We're going to see it right there. I'm just going to aim for this little bump out, and then I'm going to aim for this right here, which is what I was trying to do earlier, and I just kept getting knocked off. I don't know why. So aggravating! But we'll adapt and overcome. Make sure we have our fresh shield spell running. The second furnace of the furnaces, I think, is what I think of as probably the easiest furnace. There's not as much complication as there is with either 1 or 3. 3, I think, is the hardest furnace. So if I were to order them from most difficult to, or least difficult to most difficult, it would be 2, 1, and 3. So let's kind of keep that in mind when you're busy getting frustrated because you're not making it up. That is why. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Featherfall now because we don't want to have to disable any of these levers. We want to jump around. I think if you're fast enough, you can do that. If you pull this lever, some of the acid traps will turn off, but monsters will spawn. So I usually just leave it off. I'd rather deal with the traps that I can see coming from a mile away than the troglodytes that I sometimes get lost in the darkness. Lost in the darkness. Alright, so as you can tell, acid trap, bam, avoided. Keep running. A couple of acid traps on this pipe. I used to try doing cutesy fartsy things, but again, now I just run right through them. Up this ladder. because that's the only place you can go with that. In a situation, same scenario, which is part of the reason why this is so much nicer, is because you just don't have a choice. You have to kind of follow the path. There is some choice here and a choice ahead. We're gonna go ahead, and then we're gonna recognize that we have a similar situation as we did earlier. So we're gonna make sure we have our Featherfall on. We're gonna make sure we have our jump on. We're just gonna jump up here. But this is not the right valve. This is the right valve. This is the valve that we're looking for. This is the valve that will trap all those nasty fire elementals in their hole. Alright, so we can leave this room, except remember, there's a blue valve that we have to pull. And also every furnace room has bonus chests, if you think about it. So, just like that first room, there's a secret walkway over here and a ladder, and it goes up. So, we're going to take this post over. Just like the other room, there's a trap beam right there. I think I switched rune arms, so I don't think I can show you two. Switch rune arms again. There you go, see it? And what we're just going to do is we're just going to jump right over to this one, jump over to this one, and our Featherfall has worn off just in time. So we're going to go up here. There's a whole bunch of shenanigans. Wow, a bunch of stuff. In this case, I'm just going to throw a little bit of crowd control up there, get a little bit of damage going on, and then we're going to climb back up a little bit. I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm not... Well, did we not... yeah, there we go. I guess it went off. I wanted to kill off this Reaper, get a little bit of damage out here on these guys. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to walk backwards to this corner, and I'm just going to run up and down while I range these guys. They can hit me. Don't think that they can't. But I found if you have a ranged option, running back and forth over here kind of keeps them from getting that straight line on you that they need to give you the boo-boos. Hey, thanks for healing yourself there, Heal Bob. You wanted to heal me? Thank you. Alright, so resetting the power breakers. Resetting the power breakers is awesome. Again, don't forget to turn your blue valve first before leaving the furnace. It'll be on the ground. All the blue levers are down on the ground. But we got to start planning our next play. Resetting the power breakers. So when you look at the map, there are two things that kind of works for. The Energon Cube and this lightning bolt over here. I believe it is the lightning bolt. And you know how we're going to find out? We're going to go up and to the right. That's right. We're going to walk on our magic path. We're just going to la-di-da-di-da. In fact, I know it's the lightning one. But still, we're going to go up here. We're going to find the room that says power breaker room, or whatever magic phrase it happens to be that involves the power breakers. Hint, we ran past it earlier when we were on this ramp. And it's right here. To the main breaker room. Alright, we're going to set our Hireling back here. If you can, you're going to want to prepare the ability to protection from lightning. You're going to make sure that you have your resist lightning on. You're going to put on your lightning booties. You can do whatever you can do to reduce the amount of damage you take from electricity. Because we have to pull 2 of these valves to lower this blue force field over here. And they are random. Don't know why they're random. But they are. So, I always start with the easy ones in the off chance that we just happen to get real lucky and we don't have to walk through where the electricity is. Doesn't mean that it's going to succeed, but I like to give it a shot. Alright, now we didn't get super lucky, so we're going to look around and see where the next, there's no more on this pole. There's a lever on the back side of this pole. There's a lever on the back side of this pole and a couple right here. So we're going to shoot over here. Try to knock these out. Okay. Again, we're going to keep an eye both on the DM text and this force field and see if it happens to go down. Oops. See if we can. Man, I would hope to be hitting the jackpot by now. But we still have quite a few levers to get through. Oh, there's a third one back here on this pillar. Oh, we're still in a bad spot. There's another one back here that I missed. Answering some tells here. Is Precious the right level? Oh, he's not. Alright. I have a guildie who doesn't... Oh! Stand a little bit further back. Who doesn't log on all that much anymore, who happens to be on, is very excited to see somebody doing the pit. He says more fun with others. He's asking whether or not the tutorial happens to be a solo run. Keep dodging. Keep dodging. And it's always like the last one too. The last rune or lever that you end up pulling. That's it. All right, I'm gonna go get a heal. But I'm gonna show you a secret. Same secret I tend to show people. That doesn't have to be the last one you pull. Oops. It's still there, and I haven't seen any DM text yet telling me otherwise.
With an audible pop.
Oh, look at there, we got it. Alright, so just to make sure it's not the last one, we're gonna hit another one, so it's the second to last one that turns it off. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Good morning, Rhett. Welcome to the stream and recording, buddy. Alright, so you may have noticed this ambush here. There's a secret door that corresponds with the map. Right there. And, spoiler alert, this can be trapped right here. I would imagine that my spot would go off if it was trapped, but it's always good to open it from the side, just in case force like goes roar, roar, roar through where the trap is. It doesn't hit you over here on the side. There we go. Perfect. Perfection. Alright, now we're going to power up the main control room. The main control room was what I like to call the giant energon cube. And we have a couple options. One, we can take a look at the map and notice, right, that we are here, but the main energon cube room seems to come over here, right? If you just follow backwards along the map, you know, it lines up this direction. So we could jump over here and see if we can find it, but we're just going to take the ramp down. At least until we know we can find it, which means we're going to be looking down and looking to see if we can find a room that has a green lever. Nope, still nothing. Staying on our ramp, though, because remember, this ramp is the magical ramp that takes us to everything. Ah, there, we saw it. It's right below us. So we could keep going down this ramp, which is long and windy road. Leads us past the furnaces, which again have 3 green lights because open, open, close, but we're not ready for the third furnace room. Just keep falling down our magic ramp, and look at it, there it is. Hey, also there's a shrine. Sweet. Hopefully we won't need another shrine, but if we do, it's good to know where one is. Man, the ooze is hitting us real good today. Real good. Alright. Go ahead and summon our helper to give us a couple of hit points. There's all sorts of like troglodyte scum hanging out, hiding. All sorts of black puddings everywhere. Let's get everything cleaned out. So I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler right here. For these rooms, we're going to have to solve some puzzles. And while we're solving the puzzles, monsters are going to respawn. You're going to have a preacher. Looks like we're going to have a carnage reaper. We're going to have some big oozes. So we're going to have another reaper, some sort of plague reaper. And then we'll have just a regular devotee. Alright, what I like to do personally is have a hireling kind of hang back a little bit, and we're going to solve these puzzles. Always solve from the bottom down. It's just a habit of mine. Or, sorry, the bottom up. I consider the lighted area generally the up. I think this can just turn this way, right? Yeah. Bloop. We just want to light all the sigils. I can't tell you what the respawn rate is on the guy. Ooh. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? Let's go down. There we go. This needs to be turned. But it feels like it's somewhere in that 30 seconds to 45 seconds range. This is where we're going to get all the Reapers, huh? And if an ooze dies on your puzzle, you're going to have to either click around it or you're going to have some magic powers here. Alright. More spoiler alerts. Once you learn the couple different handful of combinations on these puzzles, you're going to basically recognize a couple of different ones. One, there's going to be one that comes straight down into this corner over here. There's going to be one like we did over here where you have to go back up through the middle. And then there's going to be one that has a really interesting pattern. It probably will be this one. Where you end up having to go through the down and around the bottom to light up one of the sides. I guess we kind of did that on that other one as well. Stop it, you're bad. No one likes you. Go home. Alright. It's probably going to be this one. Ooh, see what I mean? We have to go like this. Bloop. Which means this has got to go down. Which means this has got to go this direction. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't quite so weird. Evening Stormwolf. If you're doing this in a group, you always want to group up for a picture here at the giant energon cube. It's not a requirement. It's just I've always tried to make that happen when I do a group of the pit. Doesn't happen all that much anymore. But, I don't know. I always feel like it makes the pit a little extra special when you take a minute and share the experience with the group. Some people like to take screenshots, some people don't. Don't force the issue, but I think there's probably 15 pit runs in a row that I managed to get everyone together to take a picture. Alright, we're turning on the bilge pumps. Again, we're going to take our magical ramp up and away to those beautiful bilge pumps. So this is the furnaces. Are we going to find it? Or is it here? Is it on this path? Of course it's on this path. Everything's on this path, remember? The bilge control room. Look at that. So weird that everything is on this path, right? I think it was built to make things seem more difficult than they are. But it's not complicated at all. Just go up and down your main path, and don't try to get complicated. Hey, look, a secret door and another shrine. Wow, all the shrines in this quest. So we have one in the furnace, one at the bottom, and one here behind a secret door. It's like 1,000,000 shrines for a quest that honestly doesn't take that long once you kind of have it figured out. Granted, if you don't know what it's like, this quest can take an eternity. Let me tell you a story about my good friend Tobrel and our first time through the pit. My friend Tobrel, Jeremy, and myself came to do the pit. And let's pretend it was 5 o'clock. And first of all, we're going to go back down to the third furnace, right? We ran past it. We know where it is. So let's pretend it's 5 o'clock. I think it was actually like 4 o'clock or whatever, but let's pretend it's 5 for purpose of the story. At 7 o'clock, my friend Tobrel had plans with his girlfriend to go to a party. Let's call it a Halloween party, where there had been costumes picked out. I don't think it was actually a Halloween party, but it was some sort of costume party, I believe. I could be making up extra details for hilarity factor. I don't remember. But I know that Tobrel had this party to go to. I'm like, oh, we'll do the pit. We have 2 hours. What could go wrong? Famous last words. So we're like trying to read the pit restart guide. Half of us threw it away before we even got to the quest because we're like, oh man, we just throw this away. This is trash, right? We don't need no pit restart guide. We'll figure it out. We're practiced explorers. We'll handle this. Oh man, one of us luckily kept the restart guide, and it kind of helped us. This I think was before we knew about the wiki. I think maybe we did know about the wiki. I honestly don't remember, but there was not a good guide for it at the time, for sure. Oh, by the way, on the ground, third furnace, third blue valve, hit all those. We can do that optional when we want. So we're kind of figuring it out. We're kind of roughing it, and an hour goes by, and Tobrel's lady friend calls him and reminds him about the party. Oh, no problem. I'll be ready. Half an hour goes by. Still not done with the quest. We've been in this quest now for 90 minutes. Still haven't figured out this quest. And next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock. Late for the party. Woo! Still not done with this quest. We had a lot of problems with this. Specifically this room in particular, once we kind of got the hang of what was going on. Oh, winner, chicken dinner. Alright, so let's talk about what we did. Okay, there's a couple of different ways to get through this quest. This way happens to be one of the quickest and most efficient. So I'll continue through here. But basically, using the hireling, I pulled that lever while standing on this air jet and got thrown high into the air. Okay. Because I also had my feather fall on, I was able to coach that into landing over here. This is one of those few times in the quest where having feather fall is a real help. Almost a requirement. Not necessarily a requirement, but practically so. Alright. So now we ran across these pipes over here to another air jet. Alright. Now you can do all these air jets solo. In fact, just to demonstrate, I'll do this first one here. But you can pull this lever. It takes it a second for it to jump. You can get over here and get on it and still get up here if you so choose. Okay? Doesn't mean you have to, but you can. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and summon my hireling just to make this fight just a little bit smoother. When we open this chest, we'll get a couple of casters and a... I think he's red named. He may not be red named. He may just be... Yeah, he's a little red named. A little red named melee. Looks like we're also going to get another... a Fear Reaper. Sweet. Love it. It's not too difficult of a fight. And again, if you need to, you can fall down to that area, heal up. But or you can just not loot these chests at all. The power is yours. The power, however, is not great for me. I like looting chests. Alright, we're gonna hit Featherfall one more time. We're gonna look out. We're gonna see this little puff of white smoke. That's where we're going. We're going to that puff of white smoke. If we grab that, we can pull ourselves up. If we land on top of it like we did, we're all good. Once again, we're going to recognize the fact that the lever is right here. Jump up and take care of it. If we cannot jump up here, because we don't have Featherfall, we should have Featherfall at this point. If you don't have a good jump score or whatever, you can walk around and jump to this pipe and then jump up here. It's totally doable. I believe in you. Alright, so let's talk about some of the other paths up here. Alright. And let's go ahead and actually let's do a couple. So your hireling pulls the lever. You get up here, but you only get this far up. Oh man, what do? This is pretty far down. 9 times out of 10, I'll just jump down and restart. I feel like this spot's a pain in the butt. But let's pretend you have a human person and it's easy for you to kind of manipulate this kind of stuff. So, I'm going to walk around. There'll be some baddies that pop out of this tunnel from time to time, particularly behind you. Oh, I guess this one's going to pop out in front of us. And we're going to stand on this pipe. Right here. But what valve do you pull? We're going to pull this valve in front of us. We're going to tell our hireling to get over there and pull that valve. We're also going to make sure that we have a fresh feather fall for this. And we're going to tell her... No! I summoned him to me like a fool. Yeah, he's not going to go down there unless I make him fall down there. Alright. And then he ported back up here again. See if I can get him to jump back down there again. If not, we'll go back down there manually one more time. Come on. Stop. Do not teleport up here. Alright, never mind. I guess we're going to have to go down and do this all over again. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get our hireling to pull this lever. Preferably, we will not have accidentally clicked on him to make him teleport to us in the first place. Like a fool. So bad sometimes. Boop. Nope. Banging my head on the pipe. Banging my head on the pipe again. What is going on, DDO? Come on now. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So we're up here. We're going sideways. La-di-da. Make sure that we have our Featherfall spell cast. or we have our item on, however you want to get around. We're on the pipe. We tell our hireling to pull the lever, and boom, we launched into the air. Some various degrees of high. So we get jumped all the way up here. We'll get our bearings. We'll look around. We'll see that the lever is over here, right? We can just walk over to the lever from here. But let's pretend more likely we end up catching this pipe. Now what do? We walk around. And then we have a third pipe right here. Now this third pipe, you can see the valve right there. So we hit that valve over there. Our hireling patiently runs over there like a good little boy. We tell him to lock in place. He throws us up in the air. And we get right here on this big pipe. And that looks really familiar, right? We ran across. We, again, feather fall, we jump over. And bam, we good. Right? So that's a way to do it if you can't make those weird jumps or we don't happen to get thrown up in the air in a timely fashion. Just using you and a hireling. Again, you can use Ellery, although Ellery tends to get a little bit squishy. The quest has started to scale up pretty hardcore. Let's pretend you're by yourself and you don't happen to catch that first giant gust like what we happened to do this time. If you catch... Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed the other one. There's like 2 different pipes that we could have grabbed right there. That would have been great. If you get up there... Let's say you get back to this one again. With a high enough jump score, you can jump to this pipe. You can land on this pipe, etc. This pipe, you can run across. Go up here. Jump over. See, it's the same thing. We're just trying to get over here to this. Now, let's pretend you end up getting higher. Let's see if I can do it correctly for example. Odds are going to be poor. Hey, how about up? Nope. Alright. Let's try again. Wow, I ended up even further off than I thought. Nope. So my feather fall just wore off. Alright, so here we got back on that big tall pipe. Right? We can jump down to this. Or jump down over here and take the same route that we've been taking. Alright? Or we can try... Again, you have to have a pretty reasonable jump score. And we can jump around up here. And now look where we are. Bam! There's that lever. Right? Here's that white puff of smoke that we'd be aiming for. If we were feather falling down from the chest up here. So, what I'm saying is get your bearings, recognize where the pillar is going to, or where the thing is going to be, right? There's the front door, right below us. Pew, pew, pew. And you'll kind of see where it's at. Alright? It's not difficult. It does take a little bit of patience. It does take a little bit of luck, making sure that you land in reasonable places. Having a feather fall going makes landing on things a lot easier. Not a requirement, but be a little patient with yourself. Alright, now restart the intake system. This is the quote-unquote final room. Alright, so like everything, again, we're going to take the magical ramp up. We're just going to walk around. Okay, it's going to take a minute or two. It's a long walk. If we wanted to, if we needed to, we could break off into the bilge control, take a shrine. We don't need to. I'm just going to keep walking up. Up, 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 up. Till we get to the very, very tippity top.
An engraving on the wall reads, "To the main."
At the very tippity top, we will once again see this acid jet valve that we turned off earlier. We'll walk around the other side, and we'll kind of look around up here. We'll notice that this is now, force field is down. So we can jump down a leg, run across this bridge, and bam, this is it.
An engraving on the
intake
wall
room.
reads,
Now, if you happen to be lucky enough to have a D-door, right? A D-door from way down below, teleport several things up. And again, we're going to do the same thing we always have done. We're going to go up to the right. Walk, 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 walk around. Hey, we've recognized this bridge. We've jumped off this bridge a couple of times, right? That's it. It's very simple. So fast we even got the D-door back up here. Look at that. Crazy. Alright, so here's the end fight. The end fight can be challenging. It can also be really simple. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that I tend to use from time to time. And I'll go over a couple of other tricks as we go about this. So I like to come over here to this first lever, jump back, jump on top of this, and then jump up here. Once I'm up here, we can take our sweet time. We can, if you're ranged, take our sweet time. We can knock out this stuff up here. We can kind of dance back and forth to dodge the spells from across the way. We have lots of options, right? Now, I'm going to point out a quick pattern to you. When you spawn these guys up top here, and you are taking them out, there's 2 pipes. 1 monster will spawn from each pipe. Just a thing. You can stand up here peacefully, shoot all these guys down below. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Now, that's a strategy that I tend to use when I can. Meaning I have a reasonable jump score, I have a good ranged weapon, and I just don't want to have to deal with a lot of shenanigans. But let's go. Samius, I'm on a melee. I'm not ranged all the time. Could you show me how to do it if you're like a melee type person? Yes, I can. This is what we do. You pick a lever. Doesn't matter which one. One of the ones you haven't done. You run over by it. You're going to get close enough to pull the lever, and you're going to realize that things have spawned. You're going to move backwards. You're going to move backwards, and you're going to run back up this staircase here. Up this ladder, which means now we're in the equivalent of hand-to-hand mode, right? We're shooting our crossbow point blank. We got those first 2 guys. We're going to run down, knock him out. See if anything else is coming up the way. There's not. We'll just knock this guy out. That being said, the whole time, if you do not have a way to range, 1 or 2 of these guys are going to be shooting at you, depending on which side you activated. So I do also recommend you have some sort of missile weapon to knock those guys out. You can stand up here. You can line up a good line of sight for the first guy. You can jump to shoot the second guy from up here. But it is useful and advised that you have some sort of plan for doing some sort of range damage. Also recommend that you clean up in here. We already actually have ransack, so we don't have to do any more. But this is a good spot to make sure you get your bonus. Make sure you get your egg optional. Let's kind of knock those things out. Alright, now we actually get to pull our levers. You can have your hirelings do it. A lot of times I do like to use the hirelings for this. And again, as usual, I'll show you and tell you why. But if you have the hireling try to pull this lever, right, as it runs up there and touches this point, well, I can't believe that he actually managed to pull that lever. But normally, he'll get interrupted by either one of these 2 casters or one of these 2 melee guys that spawn up here when you go to step on the platform. For a change, they were more mad at me. So when you step up there, you're going to get ambushed. So I typically pull them back a little bit. One of the reasons I like having the hireling do it is I can stand like up on one of these ledges or someplace a little bit safer and not have to worry about these guys getting me. And then I can just summon the hireling to me after I tell them to pull the lever. Doesn't always work that great, obviously, as they just managed to pull the lever that I really didn't think you'd be able to pull. But I guess every hireling gets his day, right? Alright, I made you a promise about the special optional. the Muck's Doom chest. And we're going to go back around and we're going to head over towards the furnaces. Right? Which, if we remember right from the beginning, the furnaces are across this bridge, fall down to our magical ramp here. We can look down and see it. I'm going to go ahead and do this fall, and I'm going to go ahead and do this fall, just to kind of show you. But then I'm going to cast... nah, I'll do this without Featherfall. Why not? Okay, so we're underneath the furnaces. We pulled the 3 levers, and you see this pillar right here? There's a little corner right here. We want to basically wall ride that corner down. That'll take us right to this doorway. Hopefully nothing has spawned or got our aggro because we have fallen in here before. You can see the huge gray ooze that I probably spawned a couple of other times that I fell down here. But then we just walk in this room. Only thing we have to do is get this avatar. It ain't no thing. Don't think any of these damages actually will hurt it. Just straight damage. No, this Runarm's probably not going to hurt it either. It's not taking the negative energy damage, but it just shoot it. Shoot it in its face. Alright, so this is the coveted Muck's Doom. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off this guy. I don't think it matters for named items, but I want it out of my inventory anyway. If you have a lot of shards and you don't have a Muck's Doom, this is a good time to reroll. I have 2. I'll show you one real quick before we leave. But yeah, that's the pit. Wasn't too bad. We did take a little bit of time. It took us an hour, nearly an hour, to stop and show all the different options. If you get really lucky on the pulling the restart stuff, like if you get them in the first couple of tries, it's really fast. Or if you have a couple of people, or you de-door around instead of running around. Doing both, running around and de-dooring, takes extra time. It usually takes me about 24 to 26 minutes to do that pit quest. And I don't know if you saw the experience tally on it, but it was 44,000 plus another, 2,600 for doing the optional. So let's call it 47,000 experience. If you knock that down for 25 minutes, that's very fast. Very, very fast indeed. Alright. Real quick, let's take a look at a Muck's Doom so you can see if it's something that you're interested in getting. I think every account should have one at least. It is currently bound to account, so you can play the pass of the long game, and it is useful. It is an excellent weapon for fighting oozes, specifically rust monsters to a lesser degree. Can I please get my TR cache up, please? There we go. Perfect. I'm pretty sure it's down at the bottom. Here's the Muck Banes that you can get from Dirk's Got a Secret. And then Muck's Doom is a little bit bigger. There's one. You can see it's level 6. It's bound to... This one is bound to character unequipped. The new ones are bound to account. Mine is +3 with an empty red augment slot and is Ooze Bane. So it does a little bit more damage, has a little bit more durability, and in my situation I have it bound and attuned with some force damage. And then I have not slotted it yet with the red slot. I probably should, but I haven't yet. So again, I highly recommend going and getting one. I use it every melee life except for monk melee lives. And yeah, I think it's a good idea to have one. Alright everybody, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. Again, I recorded this as part of my Twitch series, or Twitch stream, so twitch.tv/SamusGarobo. If you happen to be watching live on Twitch and you'd like to support my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SamusGarobo, please smash the like and subscribe button over there as well. Really appreciate it. I'm trying very hard to grow my channel here in the future. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Hope you had a good one. And this was The Pit. Toodles. Alright. Hopefully that was not too painful. It was painful for me in a couple of places. Once I realized that I didn't have my Featherfall item, Felt pretty sheepish. I need to actually build a better Featherfall item. Might just do that really quick while I'm thinking about it. So I've been using this key lock ring. See, the problem is that I really want to continue to use a trinket. And I want the trinket to have a distinct look to it. If I find out I pulled it out and I just stuck it over here, I'll be really mad. So I typically carry around the key lock ring. And the reason why I like it for this kind of thing is that it's got a different icon. There is not another quest or another item in the game that has this icon that you can equip. So if I stick it down here in my trinket swappable slot, it's very easy to go, oh, boop, and switch to it without thinking very hard. That is why I like it. That being said, the fact that I didn't carry it around for like one of the 2 quests that I actually needed in is kind of aggravating. And the fact that it's level 7 kind of bothers me. So I wonder if I can... If I just craft on a regular trinket, like I have all sorts of other things on, I feel like it's going to get lost, right? Because a lot of the time I use this trinket to do things. Like here's a weird one. Here's one that's custom built for, I guess, that Strimtom Arcane Archer life that I did several lives ago. But here's like a random deadly intelligence item. I probably don't have a deadly item on right now. It probably would be wise to actually put this in my backpack to increase my damage. Probably would not be the worst thing that ever happened to me. So I'm hesitant to do a trinket. I don't want to swap other kind of armors around or rings or stuff like that because I feel like that kind of stuff dances around enough as it is. So I probably should just make a trinket. Maybe I get in the habit of putting the Featherfall trinket like far away. But I feel like it's something I should just make at level 1. So let's theory craft what I would do with the trinket at level 1. You hate hold spells. Oh man, hold spells are great. Just not when you're low level. Alright, so if I make a trinket, reach level 1, and I put Featherfall on it, what would be the other thing I put in here? Like water breathing? True Sight would actually be fine. Not what I'm looking for. Yeah, see, like, none of these other abilities I care about. Not when you're the target of them. Alright, well that is a different problem. Is water breathing in here? Yeah, underwater actions in the same slot as this. That's kind of dumb. Alright, what happens if I add a colorless slot? Nothing. Let's increase the level to 4. Make it a yellow slot. I can put underwater action in as a slot. How low a level can I get that? 2, I think? No. 3? No. So it does have to be 4. But where am I going to get a... I'm never going to be able to get a trinket with a slot in it. So it has to turn into a ring. Right, at that point. And there we go, Featherfall. And then in the ring slot, None of this stuff matters. I guess we can continue to have, like, open lock. And then we can put underwater action in. And then we have basically built, like, a generic good ring for swapping Featherfall, open lock, and underwater action. I suppose that's fine. Oh wait, I never turned this on, did I? Oops. My bad. Let's turn this back on. Sorry. Hey! I keep farging not. Farginot. I don't know why I keep having so much difficulty trying to find the way to pronounce your name for a day. Good morning. So I'm looking at building a more static, go get it, feather falling, underwater action, low level item that I just swap into my gear. Again, the difficulty of using a ring is then I have to watch my ring swaps back and forth. I'm used to switching my trinkets around. I don't know. I think we'll just leave it. Just leave it. I should send Jerry a message to add a second color of trinket. These are about the same, actually. Let's put that there then. Another color to the store trinket. Alright. So we have our solution for now. That'll do. Just remembering to grab it. I should have grabbed it before. It feels bad that I didn't grab it earlier. It's not a terrible quarterstaff. Not good, but not terrible. We're not selling our smoldering cudgel. Get all that stuff done. Alright, so let's... Oh, I missed him. Damn it. So again, my friend Precious was on, and in the Reaver's Refuge. What is he doing there? You're high, son. And I didn't get much of a opportunity to talk to him because I was recording. It's good. How do you deal with hold spells when you're the target of them? So a couple of different ways. One, will saves. Two, a lot of races are immune to, like, a lot of the monsters cast, like, hold person, which Warforged are not people, so your race decision can have an effect. You can have a good spell resistance because they're a non-damaging spell. So if you have a high spell resistance, it's like an extra layer of protection. So, like, you can craft a couple of different items that give you spell protection. Spell protection. Let me pull this back up. Or you can find a couple of different items. So again, I'm going to pull up a trinket because I used to have all these things on trinkets. But you can get spell resistance, and in this case it's 34. But I used to make like one every little while, really. And then you can get insightful spell resistance. So then, like, here you can get 19. And then if you happen to be a drow or a race with spell resistance, they stack onto that. Or you can look for a couple of items in the game that has spell resistance. There's a couple of items that do it. I'm trying to see where it... I guess they don't have them listed. The one that comes to mind to me are... that's easy to come by is the mirror cloak from that was mirror cloak from oh, it's not going to show me. All right, from the level 5 quest chain. Sorry, I'm going to have to go through Party Crashers. Comes from the Party Crasher quest. Can't believe there's not an item for it. Has it got a weird name? Is that what it is? Yeah, it's called a Fjarlin Mirror Cloak. That's why it doesn't have a page. It's level 4 now and gives you 17 spell resistance. This is actually a very good cloak to give you that little bit of oomph on it. You can also have... you can get spells. You can get scrolls. So like a cleric can cast it on you. There's spell resistance to spell resistance mass. Depending on your UMD, you can cast these spells on yourself. It's 12 plus your caster level. Unfortunately, when you're casting from a scroll, your caster level is the minimum level to cast the spell, which is 9, I think. So, I mean, you're not getting a huge bonus. Same thing with spell resistance mass. It's because it's a little bit higher spell. It's level 7 spell, which means you need to be level 13, which means you're going to be getting 25 spell resistance, I think, if I remember correctly, out of a spell resistance mass. So, like, you have a couple of different options that way. The other thing you could do is you can have freedom of movement. There's a bunch of different items that cover this now, from really low levels and easy to get, and all the way up to really hard levels. So I carry around this flask of freedom movement. You drink it, and it gives you a freedom movement spell cast on you until you die or 10 minutes. But you also have like a bunch of boots from Ravenloft that have freedom movement on them that are easy to come by. You also have the Kandaric Delving Boots, which are level 9, so it's one level lower, but that's all they really do. Freedom movement and move silently. But that comes from a raid. Yeah, the rest of these I think are all... Cloak of Balance, where's that from? It's level 17 from... It's one of the new quests, apparently, Offshore Count. Nearly finished freedom movements, insightful secret parrying. So there's some items. The easiest way, though, is to get somebody who can cast freedom and movement on you. And if you look at the hirelings and you look at one of these hireling things, one of these options tells you what they all have. Here we go. So you can look through here, find freedom. So you have this favored soul, Lana Vess, at level 9 that can cast freedom movement on you. Is that the only one? I thought there was at least one more. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's it. And a lot of these remove paralysis also removes being held. So like this guy right here, this drow, can cast remove paralysis on you. But if you're over level 9, I would just get this chick if you're worried about... apparently her template is not filled in. So let's see where she's at. She is in... Oh, the market. That's what that MRK means. Sorry, it took me a minute. So if you go to the marketplace, you can find... and she's a favored soul. I don't know where I lost her at, but... You know, the marketplace favorite soul, bam, you're good to go. So those are like the easiest ways to deal with freedom movement. Or being crowd controlled with like a hold person spell. Is to just not get hit by it in the first place. Any other questions, comments, etc. before we prep up for the next level 7 quest that I usually do, which will be Gwyland's stand. I guess the first thing we can do is go get a hireling. Oh, also we can unprepare Featherfall. Get out of here. I will probably switch to having Featherfall full time once we have the shield, which we could do now if we wanted, but instead I'm going to take this. I guess we take it now. That's fine. All right, so we'll go ahead and put Featherfall back on our list, but we'll take it over the shield spell. Instead, in our enchantment, we'll use this improved shield and make sure that's extended. Yeah, the thing about trinkets, right? Keep in mind, the thing about making trinkets is because the spell resistance adjusts so much, and you can also do like spell resistance of dodge, like they pair really well together. Because it adjusts so much, you have to have a bunch of them. So like at level 10, you can get 13 and 6, and then of course also at level 10 you can start getting insightful spell resistance to add in there together to give you that 19. But then there's significant jumps. So like at 12, you jump, what was that, 2? But at 16 you jump a lot. So like I have one at 10, I think 14, 16. I know I have one at 20 that I would wear for a while. And that's 32. So they get very expensive, is what I'm warning you against, or warning you about. Especially if you do not have the ability to unlock this extra slot. The extra slot for the stacking resistance is really key, if you're going to do that. Again, it's a lot of value, and I would not try. I'm not trying to put you off of doing it. I'm just warning you that you might want to try some of the easier options first. All right. We got one more quest to do before we level. Who do we want to take? We're level 9. We've been taking Samuel. He's been doing fine. We could take the chick and cast... You know what? We'll take the chick. We'll take the chick we were literally just talking about, and she can cast Freedom of Movement on us. Alright, let's go get our... Let's get our ship resistances. Oh, looks like Dustin and his lady are playing over on the Discord today. It's good to see. Telling you kids, find someone who shares your interest, and life becomes much easier for everybody. Much, much easier. Alright. So again, the last quest that I tend to do at level here before leveling up, and honestly, there's a couple other ones that I like to do. I'll probably also record those as videos as well. And I'll probably just go ahead and bank a level just to record them. But if I was just trying to get from level up as quick as possible through the things and not worry about holding levels, One of the quests that I always do is Gwyland's Stand. I like Gwyland's Stand. It's one of my favorites. It's been one of my favorites for years and years and years and years. So yeah. Before we get started, I think I'm going to make a quick restroom break. If anyone has another question to ask before we start recording, now is a great time to throw it in the chat and I'll answer it when I get back. All right. It doesn't look like anybody else has posted any follow-up comments. I have a chill. I'm going to go into really old man mode. I'm going to put my little blankie on. Do I want to put it on like a little cape? Or I just want to put it on my lap like a little lady? We'll just put it on my lap like a little old lady. Then no one can see it. So if anyone jumps in, I'm still just wearing my badass D20 t-shirt. I have some of these for sale, by the way. If you're interested, send me a PM or whatever. I actually made these myself at the arena, and I think we're charging like $12. I don't have a whole bunch of sizes left. I have, I don't know, a little bit of each, maybe. And that should be probably shipped. Like $12, $13 somewhere. US only. Shipping to Canada, I might as well just like have somebody make you one there in Canada. It would be cheaper. Alright. Let's get this party started with Gwyland's Stand. Alright everybody, greetings and salutations. Welcome to another The Road Most Traveled with me, your host Samius. I hope you're enjoying these walkthroughs as much as I'm enjoying doing them. I will tell you though, it has taken my usual TR time and cut it way down. Alright. So, Gwyland's Stand, that's what we're going to do next. This is one of my favorite quests of all time. We'll get in and get started and I'll share a couple of stories with you. It's pretty straightforward of a quest, really. So it's not like we have to worry too much about this, that, or the other thing. But I really enjoy it. Also, I think we're going to go ahead and use our Death Smile to enchant our weapons with the shadow buff here, which means I can't give it +1. Just totally fine. We're gonna have our chick cast freedom movement on us. All right. So let us get started. We've basically added a ton of miscellaneous damage to our individual shots here. When we look at these numbers, it should seem quite strong. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. For something that also has like a huge crit profile, because we're using a rat catcher, a pre-nerfed rat catcher. So our 17 to 20 times 3 is just going to town.
Rough ahead, you hear dripping water and an inhuman chittering. Rust monsters?
So what? I don't even know what that trailing number is now of shenanigans. All right, we're on a wizard, so we can D-door. If you don't have the ability to D-door, I would probably just recommend that you pick those up on the way out. This way you don't have to worry about strength issues. But since I can D-door out, I'm just going to do that. I feel like most people can walk into and walk out of of a little mini zone here. I will tell you though, when you go to walk out, you walk over to this far side and walk up these mushrooms to get back up here. There's a bunch of rust monsters over there, so it's part of the reason I don't want to do it. I just don't want to deal with the rust monsters. We might still do that anyway, just to show you guys what's up. But take my word for it. Literally all you're going to do is... I normally just run right through all that stuff. I don't even worry about it. If that makes any kind of sense at all. Just run through all this stuff and run back out. Swim through, outside of that hole, you grab the rest of those items and you just keep moving. It's not even a thing to worry about. Here we're going to basically slaughter our way through the massive pile of trolls and gobnoblins and everything else. And this is pretty straightforward. 90% of the quest here anyway. Kill the bad things as you run along. Now that you've gotten the magic item to disable the quest device. Alright, this chest right here. When you open this chest, we want to get this this guy running across the way as well. Get him before he runs across the screen. Wow. Guess we're really special today. Everything's coming to Samius today. Look at this. And he gave us a chest even? How precious. Alright, so this chest right here. When we open this chest, 2 Minotaurs are going to spawn right over here and start to make a play in this direction. Not a big deal at all, just smote them. They're just hamburger, don't worry about it. Alright, you see this little bell over here in the distance? If this elf runs across this path, runs in there and rings that bell, it'll spawn a couple of monsters and have them attack this direction. If you walk over there, they'll also spawn and attack you. But if you go around the way that we did, and straightforward, and we can keep that guy from ringing that bell, then they won't spawn or attack us or anything. It's just a couple less things that we have to knock out. Alright, so these guys, these elf fighter wizards, they're going to hit these little boxes and turn these traps on. 1 second.
Stonework path splits in 3 directions.
Alright, sorry about that. The wife came in to remind me about some stuff. So there's a couple of trap boxes here. And then a little bit of trash. And then there's a guy walking up and down this ramp. Same kind of scenario. We'll just see all these traps here. So he'd run up here, hit this box, and then this would be filled with sonic damage things. They're actually quite a bit of a pain. You can kind of sometimes run on the very edge here, but you're likely to take some amount of damage regardless. So control panels at the bottom. Defeating that guy from range damage from before he can run up here also is good. Similar scenario for this guy, except this is sonic. This is force damage. This is sonic damage, I believe. And he's usually a lot closer. And his box is right here. So we're just gonna take him out from far away. So we'll hit this control panel and we'll keep going. Now I like to do this middle one first. Is just my preference. You do not have to. You can do them in whichever order you like the best. But there are going to be 3 little ziggurats type things, or caves in the wall, or however you want to describe them. I try to think of them as ziggurats. And you have to go put this cylinders of powder into supply crates to sabotage them so that people who stole them can't use them, basically. Because apparently they're too big for us to carry out. But we can poison there. We can carry poison in. At least that's my understanding of the plot. Looks like our extra fire damage is worn off, and I have not shrined yet, so I've not gotten it back. Forgot that wasn't on like an eternal like reset. I was thinking I'd use it for longer quests. I should have used it on shorter quests. Alright, so each one of these little ziggurats has a little fight down here to protect the crates. They each one has a little shrine with it. Usually in one of the corners is a little shrine. Some of them have traps on the corners. Some of them have boxes along the ways that you want to get. And some of them have optionals to slay in here. But basically whenever you see one of these crates like this, you want to poison it with the gray powder. And you're good to go. Avoid the middle, because the middle tends to be filled with poison trap. If you're immune to poison or you have really good saves, you can fight in here and poison a lot of the trash mobs, but I don't recommend it. I recommend being able to stay flexible. Welcome to the stream, Shadow. In case you aren't aware, we are recording a tutorial for Gwyland's Stand. We're just kind of working our way through the levels here. Next life is going to be a lot more interesting, and the life after that probably as well, when we start filling in the ones that are the road less traveled, doing quests we usually skip. Alright. I might even have to get a guide to guide me through a couple of quests. That would be really intriguing, wouldn't it? I'm trying to do a walkthrough, and I have to find somebody to guide me through the said walkthrough. Pretty ironic. There's one more trap box over here. I don't actually know what the trap is for. I've never noticed the trap being disabled by that. But whatever. And then this guy down here will turn on lightning traps right in front. I often try to disable these. Oh, he's going to run up here to fight us. He's not going to go do his traps. But I've also used them several times in the past to get guys to like come up here, because the mobs in this quest do take damage from the traps. So you can get the traps activated and then lure monsters into the traps in this quest quite a lot, quite easily. And really up your DPS. This trap box is right here. Looks like it's high enough my auto search isn't going to search it out right now, so we'll just hit the old button, get that extra +4. Not only is there a shrine, but there's a supply crate down here that we have to do for part of the quest objective.
Your eyes sting as you pour the gray powder into the Thorani supply crates.
I'm also going to show you something not to do. There's no reason to go over here, but if you think, oh, I'll just come over here and shoot all these things. Oh, there's traps. As far as I know, there's no way to disable these traps. I might be wrong. But unless you really, really, really have to find a place to stand that's safe, You don't want to stand up there. Obviously, if you have to jump to some place that you know is going to be less likely to be safe, that's where you want to go. Over here's another trap box. You can run along this side pretty easily. Just disable the trap. Drink. Alright, let's get this Carnage Reaper out of the way, and then we'll deal with old Bigfoot here. Alright, so another interesting thing. When you open this chest, monsters will spawn over here. Again, they're not a big deal. They're just random monsters. But if you're not expecting them, I have seen people get surprised and tripped by these guys. It hasn't happened in a while, but I have seen it happen. Oh, good, nice. Thank you for the strength damage.
At the entrance to this section of ruin, you hear the muffled calls of workers and guards as they struggle with their haul.
I typically don't worry about these guys. I normally would just jump in here, but it's always nice to knock down your alert in advance. All right, so let's talk a second about this fight. See this guy? This guy is going to throw a warning alarm. That warning alarm is that box right there. So you have wherever you start to attack him until he runs over there to hit that alarm. So what I'd recommend doing is waiting until he's about as far away as you think it'll take you to get him murdered, and then go to town on him. Now if he pulls this, like, this gate will open and these guys will, I think this gate opens and these guys run through, or it might just be a spawn of guys right here. Either way, it can be an extra challenging fight for no reason, so I recommend avoiding it if you can. These are one-shot traps, so if you run over to the corner where it's clearly safe, set it off. You don't have to worry about it. There's one in alternating corners. I will still go ahead and disable the trap box for the bonus, but if you can't disable traps, you can disable these just by like running into every other corner, having it fire off. And again, as you could tell, I mean, I was way over here on that one. I was never in danger. Again, there's another box that basically summons bad guys. Just trash mobs.
Mighty Hoof glares down at you and prepares to charge.
Mighty Foot there is the big bad. But honestly, the various priests in here are the real troublemakers. Apparently, whatever that troll is. Troll did not like me today, did he? Get a couple of heals. Alright, get a couple of little baby heals. But still, I'll take them. I'm used to there being quite a bit of fight in this room. But I guess we kind of like ranged most of it down from far away, so go us. Alright. I also normally go out the way I go in, but in this case I know there are more mobs this way, and we're going to go ahead and clean those up. apparently trap boxes. Trap boxes I did not remember. Although there's so many things I don't remember. I could fill the world with things that I don't remember. I will have her. Oh, apparently we had a Minotaur ambush back here. I think the world shook on us a little. Alright, break some more breakables. You do not have to break those breakables to get the ransack bonus, but it will help take care of it in the end. But if you skip those and do all the other ones that I have done, you can definitely get them. Definitely get the ransack bonus. All right, so we're gonna feather fall. I like to jump over here. It gives me an opportunity to kind of take these guys out. Because I'm usually on a melee on this side, but it's fine. Alright, as we run through, we'll pass another shrine. We're also going to realize that there are some more traps right here. These are spike traps. So if you get them to pop up, apparently I'm not going to be able to today. But if you get them to pop up, you can easily walk past them. There's another trap box two more trap boxes. One on this side, one on that side. Now I promised you a story at the start of this. And this is it. So, I used to have a friend. He had a character named Palibot. So he was a Warforged Paladin. He correctly realized that if you are a Warforged and a Paladin, you basically have all the immunities in the game. And then he also eventually took some monk levels. So he was like Warforged Palibot / monk. And he would literally run through this quest, through this big open area, gather up every mob in the game, and he would slash sleep right here with these traps going. And he would not do anything except let those trash mobs kill themselves. It was hilarious. And you could see, you could like log in and you'd be like, what are you doing? He's like, killing mobs in Guayland Stand. It was just one of his favorite things to do at I think the cap was 14 maybe. I don't know, it was right after the desert came out is when he was playing. Alright, another trick that used to get done in the way back machine is that you would pull things up through those spinny blades. If you jump over them while they're spinning, you can get a pretty good idea of where they're going to be. When they're underground is when they're the most dangerous, because then you can't do anything about them. But as you can tell, they make pretty quick work out of the Minotaurs here. Generally. And there's your trap box. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of history for those of you who are kind of interested in such things. And we'll use a combination of our Rune Arm and our Sonic spell to break all these breakables. But if you break all the breakables in this room, and you break all the breakables, except for the ones that I said you didn't have to do, you will also get ransack. So it's pretty minimal breakage to get the maximum bonus. And of course, all the bonuses here. 25,000 experience. No extra chest here because we didn't have any names. There can be 2 different names that spawn in here. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but one spawns a chest in the back and one spawns a chest right there. The one that spawns towards by that pillar drops a kind of interesting crossbow for low level inquisitive builds. It's not great, but it's interesting. And you can finish out of the quest right there. But I also want to show you guys this optional treasure chest. A lot of people skip it. Some people may not even know it's there because so many people skip it now. But there is it's a really trapped path, and there's no trap boxes. So there's an acid trap. I believe there's like 2 poison traps. They shoot little bombs. And then right over here there'll be spikes that come out of the ground, darts that shoot across. None of this has traps. Until you get over here. Then there's a series of force traps right here that go off when you stand up top. May have just made it where I can't get them. Oh, sweet. Okay. Whew. Whew. I thought almost got you murdered right there showing you this chest. But, yeah, there's a trap box that can be over here, or it can be over here. And then you can loot that chest. Again, it's not anything fancy, not anything special, but chest is a chest. And if you have the rogue skills, you might as well get it, right? Alright, well that's, again, one of my favorite quests at this level. So at this level, we knocked out the Pit, Gwyland Stand, Tear Decon. Once we do those, there's only a handful of other quests that I typically do at level 7. But as you can tell, or level 9, excuse me. As you can tell, we leveled up. So, hope to see you guys for our next video series. I think we're going to bounce over to Grey Moon and just knock out that package because I enjoy it and I usually do it. Alright, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful time. Again, like and subscribe the channel. Smash like on the video. And if you're watching the YouTube side, please check out twitch.tv/SamusGarobo for our live stream, which is where we got this video recorded from. Alright, everybody, have a great time. We'll see you real soon. Toodles. Alright. Welcome, welcome, welcome for people who have trickled in after the fact. I said we were recording some more Road Most Travel videos, aka my walkthrough series for YouTube. If I miss something important in a quest, please holler at me at the chat so we can fix it. Because I would very much like to make sure that I have correct information going out to everybody. I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer out there that all the information is correct as I know it. My neck is super tight. OMG. Alright, so I had to remember to switch this back to this hat also. I forgot that you had to equip it. No wonder the damage felt like it was a little bit lower than it should have been. Alright, okay. I remember that. I don't remember it, but I will remember it. I thought it was just a cosmetic that equipped and you clicked. Alright. Ooh, excuse me. We are drinking La Croix. Not sponsored. I don't know how you... Lacroix. I actually have no idea how you pronounce it. It is a sparkling water, in this case lemon flavored. Found out that I can have sparkling waters, and this one actually is like, out of the sparkling waters that I have drunk to give myself that carbonated feeling, so I can just because this is one of the best flavor wise. Alright, man, we actually have quite a few 7s that we need to do. We have to do this, we have to do we have to do out here, and we just have a whole bunch of stuff actually. And the reason why I feel like I have to do Gray Moon Waning is because I really like doing the next chunk. The X is silent. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to say that either. Chrono, because the O would be hard, right? It would be O, so O-I. No, because the I would be soft again. Oh no, English is hard. I don't even think that's English though. Okay, let's see if I can. LaCroix. Yeah. Here we go.
LaCroix.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind. Here we go. LaCroix. Also, why do I still not have any DDO sounds today? I'll turn DDO all the way up and see if our settings kick in again. Seems very quiet of late. I'm going to go ahead and defeat these monsters on our way up there, even though we did the Explorer earlier. I just want to have a minute to talk about the quest before I have to worry about danger. And we are going to do the entirety of the Gray Moon Waning series in this series. Anyway, I do really like them actually quite a bit. If you happen to work for LaCroix and you would like to have a sponsor, I'm sure my stream is too tiny for you, but I do enjoy them. And if you'd like to sponsor me, I'll be happy to. I'll make this the official drink of DDO / my stream. MT. Alright. So let's record this next segment here. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I am Samius, and we are kind of playing a little bit of catch up here. And the reason why we're playing catch up is because one of the quest chains that I enjoy doing is Gray Moon Waning. And the reason why is it is a gatekeeper quest for what people like to call CO6 or Cult of the Sixth chain. Now, Cult of the Sixth chain is a very high experience point chain. And I feel like it's very, very good for everyone to know how to do. But you have to get through Gray Moon Waning before you move in. Now, the reason why Gray Moon Waning is such a strong quest, there's 4 quests in the chain. But the reason why it's very good is it's super, super short. Excuse me, super, super short. The mobs typically do not come in a great challenge range. So therefore, it's an easy quest to do on Reaper. So if you don't have very many Reaper points and you would like to get a few, Gray Moon Waning is a great place to pick up a few Reaper points while you are in the process of leveling up. You're not going to get like 1,000,000 Reaper points, but you'll get some. And again, for the amount of difficulty you'll see, it'll be very easy. Again, this is easily a quest that you could do like on 3 skulls once you have a couple of Reaper points. I typically have been doing these examples on 1 just for ease, and I'll continue to do that. But again, if you are looking for some quick and dirty Reaper points, this is a great place to get them from. These first couple of chains. So this first one in the chain is freeing. I don't know how to say the name. Freeing this ogre guy. We just went through the fact that I don't know how to say anything.
The mine is dank and filthy. Angry
This quest should take us less than 5 minutes. Let's actually fire up this hat and put this one back on. See what I mean, though? Like, it's pretty easy to defeat a quest 1 monster at a time.
You hear faint voices
Especially with so
beyond
much
the hole.
distance.
Through the door you hear a rough voice. For I'm strong surprise when we send it.
So we're actually gonna jump in here and get the collectible.
To the floor.
I have never killed this guy, picked up his key and the collectible, and got out before that door is closed. Never. In the history of all the times I've played. I've done 2 out of the 3 of those things, but never all 3 of those things. One of these days I'll be fast enough I can pull it all off. Alright, this is probably one of the more, I don't even want to say dangerous, but like tricky parts of the quest. The trap box is at the end, and you're going to be tempted to like run all the way across this. Don't get carried away, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Just wait for it to pause. Get in the middle. Wait for it to pause. Move across, etc. Now, once you know what you're doing, you can kind of do some jumping, or if you have some extra hit points, because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, this is not a difficult thing to do. Trap box is right here that disables it all for everybody. Good to go. Alright, there's the dude that we gotta rescue. Right here is an optional that we're gonna take out. Flame Fang! Quick and easy. I don't think you need to bother breaking breakables in this quest because it's part of an extension quest. So I hate to spoil my joke, but this door is locked, and that signifies how much more quest there is behind that door. So you're not going to be able to get enough breakables to knock into the bigger experience range. As far as I know, I could be incorrect. But as you saw, that was super quick, right? Even taking things slow, we got 220 on Reaper experience, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but if you do that on Reaper 3, you're talking like 400 or 500-ish, give or take. You do it on 5, you might be somewhere around 6 or 7, and that experience adds up really quick. And again, it's very simple. Oh, I forgot this stupid rune arm again. It turns off the charge, but it doesn't turn off the rune arm feet.
By the wretched smell, these ogres must have recently dined on the flesh of fallen adventurers.
Alright, you ride back to the beginning. You talk to Duder. If you have D-Door, you can cast it. You entered the Explorer Zone back there at the quest. Bam, look at us. If you don't have D-Door, it's just, you just ride back. It's not a big deal. Alright. Same, very similar quest again. We're gonna kill a bunch of trolls and go through that same bridge, etc., etc. The difference is going to be we don't have to go down that hole this time.
The ogres are ready for you this time.
Also, it looks like the ogres are going to be a little bit tougher. Not worlds tougher. A couple of champs. Alright. Spell not prepared. Oh, I still have Halt Undead prepared, don't I? So silly. Let's get our Rumar charging. We're just gonna jump over. There we go. This time with 10,000% more skill than previously. Alright, so this is where I make a very tasteful joke for my dear friend Crisis, who I have not actually seen in a very long time. The joke is anybody here Clash Star? Because they don't know where to go. Because all these doors were locked last time we were here, except now it's open. And the reason why is because the door stands open, it doesn't take a Clash Star. But I always make that joke out of memory of my friend. He would make that joke every single time we're in this quest, and I hated it. And now you guys get to hate it too.
flakes
Alright,
of
down
rock
here.
lie on the floor near the
Optional.
hole's edge.
Corrosion. And then there'll be some junk ones behind us, if I remember right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's none. Keep an eye out. I feel like there's some babies spawned. Ah! Baby spawned. Nothing more dangerous than surprise rust monsters. Except maybe surprise a bunch of beholders, bunch of champs. Down this direction is, I don't think there's anything down here, to be honest. I don't know when's the last time I came down here. It's like a couple of ogre shamans. No extra experience, just kill 3 more mobs, not even a collectible. Yeah, no wonder I don't ever come down here. I also usually skip that optional too, but you know, we've discussed that in previous videos that I tend to skip all the optionals that I can. Unless they're ones that I find really good or they drop important treasures.
The air shimmers with heat from the machinery in this chamber. You hear shuffling from the ledges above.
Oh, you remember I was talking in the previous quest that there's so many breakables that you don't need to bother in the first quest. As you can see, there's just tons everywhere. I usually, again, I don't bother, so I didn't even look to see if I could start breaking breakables in here and make a dent. But I probably should have.
The sound of faint, brutish laughter.
I'm sure the wiki can tell you worst case scenario.
A roar of roost crashes to the floor. His brief reign ended in blood. The trolls
Yeah,
are
so
dead.
far away, he doesn't
Their
even know where the
presence
pain's
troubles
coming from.
Ruku must hear of this.
Alright,
Lord Groost glowers
so I'm
at
going
him
to
from his
discuss
throne in the
a
room.
interesting trick with you. Maybe. If you open this door one time, there may be an optional in there. Okay, if you don't see him, don't worry about it. Come over here, loot your chest. Have a good time. By then the door should be locked. Check again. When you don't succeed, try again. Oh, there he is. He'll be there after the second time you open the door. I think every time. I think it's consistent. Loot your chest, recall out. We're good. So that's Grey Moon Justice for Grux. Grust. I don't know, I'm not a giant. I don't speak giantish.
The lift here leads down to a
Summon your
long
hireling.
abandoned mine. It is now
Turn off your rune arms. Summon your pony. Ride, pony, ride.
By the wretched smell, these ogres must have recently dined on the flesh of fallen adventurers.
Alright, so there are 2 more quests in this chain. Again, we have to
Waits Ruku, elder
go
of
talk
the Grey
to
Moon tribe.
talk to Buku. Bruku. Get our quest advanced. But now we're going to ride to the opposite side of this explorer zone. And we'll do the next 2 quests. Explorer Zone. This is one of my favorites to do. At the very least, the explorers. They're something like,
To the south
look.
lies the entrance to the cave
but I feel like
of the
it's,
Grey Moon Ogre Clan.
yeah, it was more than 250, but it's because I'm higher level now, so it's not showing me the right total. But I feel like it was something like 360 or something along those lines, and then something like just under 4,000 for completing them all. I came through on the live stream and knocked it out after earlier one of the sessions.
come to the den of the Grey Moon
after one of the
tribe.
streaming, one of the video sessions.
Or everywhere. The stink of trolls thickens the air.
Alright, so we have a couple of things here. First of all, we have to get the chief. We have to slay the trolls. Then we have to get all the troll collaborators if we want this optional. Troll collaborators hide in these various little cubbies. If you're not worried about the troll collaborators, wow. Then you just have to open the doors that have trolls behind them. But we're going to do them all. We're going to do them all, and we're going to be happy to do them all. Another thing to keep in mind is that there's a collectible behind this door. We wants it. Needs it. We has to have it. Put on our shadow weapon tech. Go.
You hear heavy breathing and guttural laughter. The leaders of the ogre collaborators are ahead.
Alright, so there can be a giant. Don't remember if it's in the first time through or the second time through. I feel like it's in the first time through this quest area. So again, just like the previous quest, you come back, you go so far through the quest, and then you come back in and you go back through the quest again and get a little bit further. So I have a hard time remembering if it was the first time through or the second time through. But if you check this room, there may be a rare giant in here one of the times through. I don't have a trick to like make him always spawn, so I don't worry about it. Not a consistent factor in the quest. That collectible is always there, though. I love me my collectibles. He wanted to shoot me. I thought I'd shoot him too. See how he liked it. The answer is I don't think he did.
The ogre collaborators are no more.
There we go.
Gray, move your eyes.
Alright, right over here there's going to be like 3 scorpions. It's actually one of the toughest the toughest fights in the quest, which says a lot about the quest in my opinion, that it's pretty easy going. And the toughest part is when you end up having too many of these scorpions that like to hide underground. Yeah, there's the other one. It's up there being a old soulie. Oh wow, he took a big ol' 2,000 points of damage to the face. Bet he regrets ever crawling out of his digital hole today. This tunnel right here is a shrine. This over here is a optional with a treasure chest, and sometimes an optional, sometimes just treasure. Looks like today's just treasure. Also, it has a trap box. So, like a lot of these chests, you stand directly on top of the chest, you are safe, and spikes will pop up all around you. You can also open it from like back here if you don't have a trapper. It's probably actually better to open it from the back, but you can also open it from as far away as you can possibly interact with it, and it also kind of works for you. Where did you go? Thought I had you over here with me. We have 5 more trolls, 4 more trolls. I wanted to say 3 more trolls so bad. Okay, 2 more trolls.
You hear growls.
Hammer fist.
Slap of leathery feet against stone. Hammer fist, the troll chieftain, with a bellow of mindless rage.
Alright, so let's talk about this. There's a lot of different ways to handle this particular trap area. I'm going to show you how I do it, the way that I feel is the most easy. The best way. As the trap never goes down. Okay. Apparently his dead body set it off. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have my jump spell. So I get maximum jump out of the value. Now, we're going to run past the first two trap sections, here and here. And then we're going to jump over the third one. Okay? So running, just auto running, jump. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people will like climb up this ladder, do all sorts of elaborate work. I don't do all that. I literally just run across, knock it out. Now, I will go ahead and disable this trap. I'm going to walk back. There's a collectible on both sides, I believe. Collectibles. A lot of the times, these guys do not come down. And you have to go up there and get them. It's extremely aggravating. But, also, sometimes this hole can have a named guy to defeat. Get an extra treasure chest. This quest was 308 Reaper experience. So you see what I mean? Like, these are pretty quick paced. Nothing has been overly difficult. And I feel like most people can do these on Reaper 1 with a little bit of precaution, a little bit of luck, and build up their first handful of Reaper points. So like right now, Java, when I was first replaying him, I'm replaying Java to get him to post level 20 content. And when I was doing these quests to level him up, he had very little Reaper points. And these were one of the quest chains that I actually did do on Reaper just to get him a couple points in an attempt to be able to do more Reaper level content, which I couldn't quite do solo on my cleric Warforged. The healing is just so nerfed. Self-healing is so nerfed when you layer on all the things. So like, keep that in mind, that these really are very good quests for, especially if you have ranged damage at all, for giving yourself as much.
The stink of trolls lingers in the air. Ruku was right. You didn't kill them all the first
much
time.
Opportunity to grab some low cost Reaper points. All right, these early caves are now empty. They will start to refill, I guess, technically here-ish, sort of, but not really. Yeah, there's nothing here. This time would be where the giant is. So it would be in the second time through, because there's no oozes in there. I don't think there's anything here. I don't think there's any trolls until you cross the bridge, but I want to double check, make sure I'd hate to say that you don't have to worry about any trolls until then, and then like realize that I in fact have to run back through. Remember, it doesn't take but a minute to open a door and double check. Here's our very dangerous scorpions, as we talked about previously. Do I get any healing magic out of you without having to force you to? There we go. Thank you. She says sure. Got one more. Do I get one more? Nice. Alright, same deal on this chest. This time though, I'll open it standing here in the middle so you can see what I mean. Don't want to deal with the poison problem here. Is it likely to kill me? No. But is it likely to cause me some sort of inconvenience that I don't want to deal with? Yes. Alright. So we need 8 more trolls.
The gate on the far side of this chamber stands open. Here,
1, 2, jump.
Beyond.
Disable. Go get our trap boxes or our collectibles. Yeah, we did a little bit of backtracking, but I don't think these doors open until you run across the bridge. I know they don't come down until you run across the bridge the first time. And the second time through the quest, they may be down, but I don't think so. I think you have to run across the bridge before they open. Alright, so this door is open now. We did not get a named dog here. There can be a named dog on either time through. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't get it. Going to be killing oozes forever now. This wasn't that bad. I'm going to run past those. I just don't want to. Alright, this bridge is down. We have to go up to disable or pull the levers to open it. Have him play catch with us. Threw us a chest. Talk about nice guy. Trulls. A
rattling sound greets you from the west. You have lowered.
Sorry, his quote is fools. Soon trolls will rule all Sardusk. And I was combining my illables to make a different word of trulls, aka trolls and fools. Alright, so here's going to be a bunch of scorps. They are completely unnecessary to defeat.
Ogrish runes were carved into the wall here. Within scratching
So I'm going to skip them.
Lord Krag's former cave lies ahead.
There should be all of our optional trolls. We're going to go up here. We're going to take out this guy.
Human cleric, sneer of hatred.
Here's his chest. Again, another 300 Reaper points. Again, another super... Oh, this guy's up here. See if he decides to pop his head back up while we're still standing up here. Odds are strong we're going to have to go down here and get his aggro for him to come down here. And he is a chaos guy, so be extra careful. And he gave us 2 chests. Isn't that nice of him? He gave us this chest and that one. Also gave us a collectible over there, but I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to give him that kind of credit. Alright, so that's Gray Moon Waning. Again, it's short, it's fast, it unlocks CO6, which is great experience, and you it's really, really good for doing a little bit of Reaper points if you need it. So even if you do R1, if you do those 4 quests on R1, you're talking your first like 1,200 Reaper points basically, because each one was very close to 300. So 300 Reaper points, give or take, let me say ish, for knocking out those 4 quests. That's totally reasonable when you don't have any Reaper enhancements. They're very fast. You need a little bit of preparation, reasonable weapon, and you're good to go. So I give Gray Moon Waning a big thumb up. Don't forget there's an end reward, and he kicks off a second chain. You used to be interested in this mystical fish because of old Cannith crafting. Now it doesn't really matter anymore. Collect him if you think they're cool, but be sure to pick up the CO6 quest chain. Alright everybody, with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again for watching. I deeply appreciate it. Check out our Twitch channel to catch us live, twitch.tv/SamusGarobo, and like and subscribe to the channel over here on Facebook. Or, sorry, YouTube. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Toodles. Alright. That went pretty smooth. Except for there at the end where I was thinking that we were on Facebook because I looked over and I saw my Facebook glowing. It'll teach me to use my eyes. Just become a bat and use my ears. What do we have? Nothing really particular here. Just scrolling through these things. My brother invited me to a keto, a recipe group on Facebook for foods to eat in my diet. Here's the first one: Mississippi pot roast. I'm not really sure why they're carrying. Maybe because they're trying to teach him the difference between a chuck roast and a pot roast. But they're going through all the things. Modern hardened scales. Maybe that was most of it. I guess the other announcement is that they're thinking about applying a 7% sales tax to streaming services like Netflix. And I mean, I don't think it matters that much for me, but some people, apparently it's a deal breaker. What do you guys think? Would you care? Oh, what do we have here? Cracked chicken soup. Go. Let's read this thing. Let's see if it's something I would eat. Alright, chicken breast, cream cheese, cheddar cheese, bone broth or water, yeah. chicken broth. Baby spinach. 1 packet of dry ranch seasoning mix and some bacon crumbles. Well, this all seems alright. Alright, what do we do? Tell me. Looks like you just dump everything into a pot, into the Instapot. I'm down. You know what? Screw it. I'm making this. I'm gonna text it to myself right now. Can I please get the entire URL, please? No? Copy link address. Message L. Samius. Alright. Unfortunately, I also have to go early tonight because I have to get up about 3 hours earlier than usual to take my mother-in-law to the doctor. So I was volunteered. So we only really have time for like probably one more quest tonight. Snow day tomorrow. Martin Luther King weekend on Monday. 4-day weekend. Smiley face. Yeah. Except to me, I have to work. Because MLK weekend is always Wizards of the Coast release weekend. So I'm going to have to go sit at the arena with terrible weather and people not coming out and host Magic the Gathering events for like 3 people. And then it sounds like my wife's going to go out of town and I'll probably have to walk home. It's going to be lots of fun tomorrow, that's for sure. It does suck to be me. No. It's not that bad. It'll be fine. When your job is to go host Magic the Gathering events for people, your life doesn't suck. It does suck when there's nobody there. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping everybody and their uncle comes out. But it sounds like it's supposed to start snowing and icing tonight. Alright, I already grabbed the quest. So we can just go to the marketplace. Get paid to stay home. Man! Get on that school district paycheck and now you're all about it, huh? Get away from the sweet on-call job service and bam. That's sweet government teat. That's right. Crackerjacks. Hey, why I have a couple of you guys here, actually. I don't know if the wife already bought it. Looks like she is not, because it's still in the pot. Get out of here. No one likes you. Stupid monster. Alright, let me get in the quest. Oh, something else hit me. Too aggravating for words. Like Tim QQ. Oh man. So anyway, I put an item into my Amazon shopping list that I'm going to get here, I think. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have a school bus that I've been renovating into a tiny home. And long term, I plan to put in a wood burning stove. But short term, I'm just using what they call a Mr. Buddy propane heater. And the Mr. Buddy runs on 1 pound canned propanes. Let's see what adventure packs are on sale. I'm not even sure what's on sale, to be honest. Let's hit the sales button here. Sales. Character slots are on sales. Tomes are on sales. Tomes are on sales are always a good time to grab things. Let me hop over here to the news page. Let's take a look. See what this is. Boop. It says select low level adventure packs. I may not even get to see what ones they are because I may already have them purchased. I can't. I'd have to. I don't know. They're just +2 tomes. Oh, that's lame. +2 tomes. Character slots. Alright, well basically you get character slots in Tomes of Learning. That's good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the quests are. Alright, so, as I was saying, it runs on these little 1 pound bottles of propane. And it looks like they're going to last about 10-ish hours. Yeah, Shanticor? I would imagine Shanticor would be on the list, right? Give me a minute and I'll take a closer look. So anyway, I'm thinking about buying this. I have 2 larger 20-gallon propane tanks. And I'm thinking about buying like this little nipple thing that allows you to refill these 1 pound bottles so you can more easily run it. And again, it's $8, so I'm not breaking the bank. However, they also have you can buy a special hose that lets you run your propane tank, your 20-gallon tank, to this thing. But if you do that, you also have to get a filter that runs at the end because the hose can leak oils because propane's touching it into the fuel. I don't know. So if anyone has any practice with this thing or something like it, I would really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to order one, but I don't know. Alright, before I move in, let me try one. Let me see if I can log into like one of the free-to-play accounts that I happen to have access to and see what it says. Also, here on the loader, it says 30% off. But that's through today. So let's load up this account. I just dribbled on my shirt like I'm 2. Because I don't know how to use a can. Because I'm 2. Alright. So we've logged into my free-to-play account. Let's see what the free-to-play account says. Actually, I don't want to pull up the store on my free account for everybody to see. Drink much? Not really. Okay. So here's the answer. And again, I guess it doesn't. I don't like it. All right, so Disciples of Rage Adventure Pack. For whatever reason, that one's considered a low-level quest, I guess. I'll just copy them into the chat. Disciple of Rage. Catacombs. So don't buy Catacombs here. Go buy Catacombs through the other thing. Restless Isles. Temple of Elemental Evil. Dragon Blood Prophecy. Actually quite a few quests. The Mines of Tethamar. See, that again, is not a low-level quest to me. Devil's Gambit. Against the Slave Lords. Reign of Madness. Heart of Madness. Trials of the Archons. Actually, quite a few quests. Shadow Under... See, like, this is a level 28 area. Shadow Under Thunderhome. What the F? What the F to the A? And then Halls of... Haunted Halls of Evening Star. And then a bunch of experience point potions. So yeah, Catacombs is 175 points. I'll probably pull the trigger on that here for, I don't know, maybe. It's close. So yeah, there you go. Pulled it up on my free-to-play account. Hopefully you're good to go. Like I said, it should have all showed up in the chat. Yeah, it did. Good. It is a good one to buy if you don't have it. But again, if you can pick it up, if you can spend the extra $10, like $7, whatever, go get it through the DDO store instead. So go through the DDO market and get it if you can get it this way. I always suggest people get it this way. This starter pack. So now this now costs you $1.75. So you're still getting $1.75, 200 DDO points, 5 excellent elixir of experience, and the Ellery. So I still recommend you go here to buy Catacombs. Unless you just don't need the Gold Seal Hireling that I use all the time. Always recommend it. Alright. Let us crackerjack on Bargain of Blood, and then we'll see what else we feel like doing. I kind of probably should wrap up and try to get some extra sleep. Ha ha ha, that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I got to get up early enough to take my mother-in-law to the hospital, so better knock it out. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Once again, we have another quest. This time, the Bargain Bazaar, Bargain of Blood. It is part of the... Oh, I can't even... It's the House D chain. The reason why it's important is because it is part of the saga out of Three Barrel Cove. And they're really good to do at level 9. So, knock through it. Tide Turns chain. Ha! Brain kicked in. It did it. Alright. Unfortunately, I let my hireling escape, so I'll probably have to use an Ellery. We were literally just talking about how much I love Ellery. Best hireling ever. Sentinels of Stormreach, yeah. That's the proper name for the Tide Turns chain. Thank you, dearest chat. Alright, I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks for it that I do. This is a quest that I don't even know if I could do all the optionals for if I had to. So many like weird and random like offshoots. So this is probably going to be one of the rare quests that I'm just going to kind of show you how I do, and then talk about some of the other situations that you can kind of get yourself in. I don't know, maybe we'll wander through the quest a little bit harder. So the way that I have started doing this quest is I just go in through this door the way that I just did. I climb up here, pull this lever, cast my Featherfall, and I jump over here. I don't mess around with any of the other stuff. I believe this is an optional that you can go over here. Maybe this meet up with the House-Denise Scouts. I don't know. Like I said, I just don't do that. Screw it. Let's go look. Let's go figure it out together. That's what we're here for, right? Why not? And a first mate comes up behind me too. What a meanie. And they're casting disintegrates at me? Not cool, man. Didn't bring a hireling. It's alright. I also have the option to switch into heal scroll magic.
The assassination department, where murder is sold to the highest bidder.
That guy doesn't seem very pleasant. What was his name? Assassin... like Assassin Coordinator or something? That sounds like a sweet title. I want to be an Assassin Coordinator. You like call him up, you're like, excuse me sir, I have to tell you this, but you're scheduled for an assassination on Thursday. Where would you like to meet up for this assassination? Do you have a preference? What kind of, how would you like it done? Quietly in your sleep? It's like a big mess, big fuss. I always told my friends that I always wanted to go out with a big mess in the end. Something shot a bolt at me. I saw it again. Something down here. Maybe. Alright. Assassin Coordinator. Sounds great.
The soft lights and well-dressed
Free the slaves. It triggered here, so there must be slaves down there. Alright. We'll see if we can't figure it out. Again, this is just one of those quests that when you run it a particular way, you don't even look at optionals. Or I haven't looked at optionals in this quest in a dog's age. Coon's age. Seems unfortunate for them, doesn't it? You think I could stand here and that archer that would accidentally shoot this lever for them? Oh, hi. You guys found some bad men, didn't you? This is so weird. So, like, the quest is definitely designed for me to stand up here and perch, for lack of a better word. Awkward. Those guys didn't activate. that didn't do anything. Apparently falling down. Oh, look at the trap. Alright. I didn't see a trap box. Found a trap box now. It glowed way up here. Wow, this is filled with danger. Huh. Wow, sometimes I feel like we're figuring stuff out together, especially in this quest. Are you kidding me? Never done this stuff before. Hello, you're in attack mode and I'm wounded. Start healing. That is generally a trick. If your hirelings are not, they're just refusing to heal on their own, put them in attack mode. Let's see if they like start running on their own a little bit when it comes to that kind of decision making. Also, if they're stuck like Ellery was, you can toggle them back and forth between attack mode and defensive mode. And sometimes that'll help kickstart them. All right, let's see. One of them is meet up with the scouts. One of them is... I thought one of them was meet over here. Another one is destroy the assassination logbook. That seems like something I'm not for here as a noble adventurer. Wow. So much more to this quest. I'm sorry. I know this is rough being the person who's making the guide video. I should have just knocked this out the way that I'm used to doing and then ran this quest a long way.
The chains and shackles here show that you are very near to the slave market.
I found a trap box though. Alright, so that lever didn't open the door.
This slave market is where the Blood Tide sells its most profitable product, people.
Shackle? Welcome to the stream, Shackle. You look very scary. Alright, I feel like I detected a trap, right? Did. Seems less than optimal, doesn't it? Also seems a little less than optimal. Alright, so I need a blue rune. Oh, it must be one of these. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these. Alright. So starting with number 1, huh? Oh, okay. So this isn't that bad. It's gonna just take a minute is all. Huh. Whatever that trap box is. That would have sucked if we ran all the way around and didn't realize that that was there. Alright, looks like they stay down once you unlock them. So what did this do then? Okay, that seems reasonable. Looking for a good time. Pull that lever. Have all the fun. This had better be like a trillion experience. No, not that bad. What about you? Why, you're a slave. Why would you want to be mean? I was just trying to free you. I would have let you go. But you would have been experienced. Alright. So now we need to meet up with the scouts and destroy the assassination logbook. I feel like that would be back in the other spot, right? I can't jump down off of this 1 foot ledge, huh? Okay.
Down by the water you spot the Halsteneath scouts you were sent to meet.
See, there goes Ellery being on point again. So I know there's one other, like, oddball offshoot. Oh, I found the trap. There's the trap box.
This plaza is normally packed with shoppers buying
It's up there in that corner.
but today it is the site of blood and battle.
I thought it was up this corner. Alright, so now I'm not so sure where this assassination logbook is. Oh, there's a chest this way that I... Aha! Have to shoot
By
it?
destroying the assassination logbook, you've saved countless people
Okay.
from the blood tide.
Alright, so again, I apologize for obviously not being familiar with all these optionals. So let's talk about how I would normally run this quest. I would run through like I started with. I'd come up here, pull this lever, jump over here, run this direction, go up this thing and pull the lever to open this door over here. Kill the caster and the 3 other guys from this direction. So there's like 5 guys here. There'll be 2 guys walking around. We'll knock those 2 out. There'll be a trap box right over here. 1 or 2 of these guys might see me in aggro down here in the bottom. But unless they do, I don't worry about them. Deal with these guys. And then we kind of finished up where we're at. So basically, that whole 6 minutes of screwing around, we would have skipped. We would have skipped a long time. Okay. control panel. So now this door is going to close on us. Shoot the one with the signal crystal. I always like to be ready to take out this caster as quick as possible. For whatever reason, that caster in particular seems to be tougher than most of the other casters. Take out this one over here. There will always be some sort of caster. There'll either be this chick or there'll be a guy over here in this corner. Either way, you want to knock them out first. I'm gonna fire this off. I think there's a trap box around. I think it's really difficult to disable with this guy trying to get you, though. We're already ingenious, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then this lever right here, next to the pool of water, opens the door at the chest. Well, that was different. I had not had that experience like that before. That is for sure. I had not ran all those optionals that I can remember. Oh, I didn't hit the button to see how long that took. Then we ride back to House Beneath and get our end reward. And that's a little video there. So that was the Bargain of Blood. I think Bargain Bazaar. I don't know. Bargain Bazaar. You guys just saw it. I had it when it was in front of me, and I'll have it up in the title like it's supposed to be. Bargain Bazaar. But yeah, do the optionals. Don't do the optionals. It's all good. The quest is called the General Manager. Doesn't seem right. There you go, Bargain of Blood. That must be this guy's quest, is the General Manager. Yep. Alright, Sentinels of Stormreach. We are 1/4 of the way through. And hope to see you guys at the next video. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Toodles. Alright, so that was crazy. I had never done all those optionals before. I don't remember ever doing them. Every once in a while I got a flash of something that kind of seemed familiar-ish, but not a clue. Alright, well unfortunately I am going to probably have to wrap up the stream here. I need to start my wind down early so I can try to get a little extra sleep. It is pre-release day tomorrow, so I will not have, and taking the mother-in-law to the hospital, from the hospital, all that stuff, I will not have time to get a proper 6 hours of sleep if I don't start now. So I'll see you guys very soon. I'll start uploading these videos. I might get one or two of these up before I like if I get a window to do stuff. I'll try to get some videos up tomorrow before I have to go. Alright, thanks for watching the stream. I really appreciate it. Let me see if anyone else is streaming Dungeons & Dragons online. Young Fly Warblewind. Let's throw it to Warblewind. Throw it over to Warblewind. Alright, hope you guys have a wonderful evening. A good weekend. Apparently stay warm and dry, because apparently it's going to be cold and nasty. And we'll see you guys really soon. Thanks for watching. Toodles.